Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we will be coloring out of Flora by Maria Trolle. Now, if anybody wonders, I do not have Moon Valley. It isn't because I don't want the book, it's just because right now, the bookshelf did come today, so me and my mother will really have a bookshelf. It came today, so I put my books, reading books away. And then some other stuff, some of my hardcovers, I moved from the shelf that I had the hardcovers to the bookshelf, and I still have room, so I put some of my, some of the Asian coloring books that I color from. So today we're coloring from this page, and it doesn't want to stay still. For whatever reason, this page does not want to stay still. You ever have that happen? It doesn't want to stay still. Hello to the one person in chat. When I'm here, I have to have something to always drink. Somebody's going to ask me, what am I coloring today from? This is Flora by Maria Trolle. I love this book. Hi, Molly. How are you? We are coloring from Maria Trolle's Flora. I don't have Moon Valley. It's not because I don't want the book, because I think the new book is beautiful as well. And it's a stunning book in its own right. So I'm looking for my color. It's a brown. I want to start off with a brown, I want to do our hair, so it's always like, we have our app mat, we have our swordfish. Sometimes I just use my app mat because it's closer to me. I also have my black widows. I have my whole buns in the room. So today that came, so the bookshelf came this afternoon, so whenever a new piece of furniture comes, we like kind of rearrange things. Now the flowers are going to be like sunflowers. I'm thinking I want to color sunflowers. I want to color them all the same. So I'm probably going to make her outfit blue. Just to contrast a little bit. I'm really happy today that the bookshelf came today because it gave me a little bit more space to put away a few more books. So at the end of the month, I'll reorganize again. Like it seems like every month I'm reorganizing, redoing things. I think this is going to be the case for a few months, just till everything gets settled. And then I think when my mother's room gets finally set up, this desk will be outside in the living room, which will be interesting when we move this desk, because it's going to be a different space. It's still going to be the same space. It's just going to be a different way of doing things. So. Doing pencil work is harder than it is doing markers. Everybody tells me, oh, that's because you're not very good with markers. I'm like, well, not everybody is good at everything. I like working with markers. I think my pictures actually come out better when I work with markers. I don't know why, but it always seems like this is bluish pale. It's a bluish pale, which I like this color. I don't like a pale blue. Remember, you can always go over your colors when you're doing it with pencil, especially if they're not enough colors. Like I've been watching Murders in the Building, Sandman. I just finished watching season 4, episode 7 of Stranger Things, and I was like blown away by it. No, I said to my brother I didn't like Stranger Things. What I didn't like was that the kid was like hyped. You know, like sometimes the hype is real. I love Sandman. I tell you, Netflix has a lot of good stuff on its network. Remember, these are going to be like sunflowers. So keep that in mind that I'm doing a color palette. This time around, I am doing a palette. So we'll be keeping a palette. So I have a lot of different pencils with me today. So depending on what we were going to do with it. Light ochre. These are the poppos, which I like them a lot. But the problem with them is when you hold them too long, they get kind of like, for me personally, they get like clammy in your hands. So keep that in mind. Like this is like a brownish yellow. No, I didn't realize there was a little bird here. How funny is that I didn't realize there was a bird here? How many times do you do that when you color? You know, sometimes you're coloring and then you see a little bird there and you're like, wait a minute, what are you doing there? You're not supposed to be there. We're going to make these pink eggs like it's like almost like an Easter thingy. I'm going to now go into another set of pencils. Well, we could do this without that. Where's my white? The bright little pink. So I'm doing skin now. So I'm use my swordfish. When they get little, it's a problem for me. I don't like when my pencils get little, but that is a good thing when your pencils get used because that means you're actually using the product you paid for. So I like using the product that I paid for. This is what happens when you don't have enough. A little pink. I'm going to color those orange. So here we go on the white. So that's the white. I finally found my granite rose. I was like, oh, there's my granite rose. In this, you know, when you need a color and you're like, where's your granite rose? Because that's what you use to finish up skin tone. And then you realize that you might have put it in the other case. So luckily for me, it was in the other case. So we have all these lovely Black Widow skin tones that we can use. This is ice cream. fawn. At some point, I'll start doing darker skin again because, you know, that was one of the things I wanted to learn how to do is do darker tones, darker skin tones. Like I'm okay with doing basic skin tones. So these are the Black Widows. I have a lot of Black Widows here. So keep that in mind. I use these Black Widows a lot. Light pink. No, I use it. Light mocha. Hey, a view is a view. How are you? This comes from the darker skin tone. This is dark skin. This is light mocha from the Black Widows. And this comes from the skin tone. Now, I put up my set over time Black Widow, so. I wish I had put out my Lyras because the Lyras have a really good blender. I mean, they really do have a great blender. Candy, Trolle. I don't have the new one, the Moon Valley one. Sunflowers is what I'm thinking. I look at these flowers and I see sunflowers. That's just me personally. I did find my luminance. I did find my pro colors, so I was really happy about that. I found my Lyras, so I was happy when I found that because I was like, what did I do with this? What did I do with this? No, sometimes you're like, what did you do with these colors? Mark. And people come in all different shapes and sizes and skin tones too, you know? They're really good, but you have to buy them like in separate sets, like you buy. The sets themselves are very reasonable, but it's like me, I recommend every set of Black Widows because they all complement each other. So I recommend buying all the sets of Black Widows because they all complement each other and you can use them in very creative ways. Thank you. I like the angle, but you know, it took me a while to figure out which angle was best for it. But sometimes the angle doesn't always. And then we'll take the granite rose from the Pablos. This is a good color, the granite rose, because it's like what I use the light peach for. Now, if I had my Lyras out, I could have the blender out. No, I used to not use the blender. Now, here's my thing about the blenders. Some people love them, some people don't love them. Now you can get a blender from every set if you know where to look. Like over here, I would have to go all the way to Fullerton. Fullerton is kind of like 2 hours away to get to a Blix. Let's hope I have a job by then and can afford to get them. What I'm using the granite rolls is to blend all the colors together that I layered on top. You know, some people will do shading and layering, and some people just do skin. Like, I get envious of the people who do skin so perfectly. I don't do my skin perfectly. I do the skin the best I know how. You know, like, this is bronze. Here's what you do. If your skin is a mess, what I recommend, what pencils are you using, Pamela? You know, depends on what you're using too. Like if you're using Prismas, you can pretty much do skin, basically. What are you using? What kind of pencils are you using? I only asked that. Okay, I don't like colors of the wolf skin. Here's what I would get. If you need a basic set of skin tones, get a Prisma. Okay, here's what you get. Get basically the Black Widows. Black Widows are great for skin tone. I don't like the colors of the wolf. My cousins love it. A lot of people love it, but I'm not a fan of it. Get yourself a set of skin tone colored pencils from Prisma used to do this. Blix, I think Blix used to do this too, where they would sell a portrait set. Hello, T-Mac. How are you? I know Prisma used to sell a portrait set. Blix, they have a basic set of pencils called portraits. They're very good colors to get you started and give you the basics. But I highly recommend getting a Prisma set of colors. Black Widows. Blix has a set of portraits that they sell. You also need to get the Monarchs. Use the Monarchs with the skin tone because the pastel colors always work well. Buy pastels work well for skin too. No, these are my basic things. Blix has a skin tone set too, and that's good for them. You know, a lot of people say, "Well, what if you don't have those?" Well, I go then copper. No, ochre. This is ochre. No, some pictures look easy when you saw them, but they're not. This picture is not going to be easy. That's a chicken. What is this? Is that a chicken? Well, if that's a chicken, then I can make that red. I can get away with making that red. I think this chicken is that chicken that was on there. Some of you know I don't like birds. I'm actually okay with birds. Now that the bird is done, let's go to budget-friendly pencils. Let's do the brown. I'm looking for a brown that's dark enough. Chestnut. You know, here's the thing, guys, you know. I still have a box of coloring books, and then I have a box of CDs that I have to go through. And that's all the other stuff we have to go. And then my mother's getting her entertainment system on Saturday. So tomorrow we might end up going to Trader Joe's, me and my mother, to get some food that we need to eat. Just, you know, just meat and like little staples. Over here, prices are much different. It's much more reasonable. I'm hoping I get a job because I'm worried that I'm going to have to take a job that I really don't want to take. Just so I'll have some money coming in. You see what I'm doing is I'm making those brown with the chestnut. And I'm doing it in a round way rather than in a traditional way. Like how I would color with markers. You build up the thing in here. I haven't colored that many pictures in here. I don't think I colored I think I colored like 1 or 2 pictures in here. I'm not really a big leaf person. If it's like too many leaves, like sometimes I have to stop doing Johanna Basford because there's just too much detail in a Johanna Basford. Don't get me wrong, I love Johanna. I love the guy who does Circle of Life, all those beautiful books, and even Kirby to a degree. But sometimes it gets like, sometimes I have to stop because it's just too much stuff. And that revelation about Vecna and Stranger Things, oh my God. You know, and then I stopped coloring Johanna for a while, and then I started loving her books again. Sometimes you need to take a break from certain artists because they're just so detailed. Like I moved my Momo Girl books, like in the bookshelf. Once I was done putting away all the hardcovers that I like, there's like I think 2 or 3 hardcovers that are not in the bookshelf because I'm currently using them. You're not on the wrong channel. Why? Did you think you were on the wrong channel, Emily? Whose channel what are you thinking? So, Emily. So, well, you see how nice the Swordfish sharpens your pencil? And this is one of the few sharpeners that actually sharpens the Black Widows well. And today I got some of my refills, even though I technically don't get, like in about a week or two, I will need the refills. So I decided to order my refills for my medicine. So that way I'll have my medicine no matter what. No matter what happens. Oh no. What happened that you were down to one arm, you? You know, like now I'm down to like 40 something videos to watch. It was like at 80 2 weeks ago. This is what happens when you try to catch up with everybody's video. It's so hard to keep up with everybody's videos. Oh, what kind of surgery did you have? Oh, that sounds painful. I felt like it was a painful. So, you know. So that's done. I wish I had like spare paper so I could see what yellow. It's the best yellow. Like, you know, you have all these yellows. They all look beautiful. It's a problem when you have all these beautiful yellows in your life. I like the sunburst one. Yeah, I know. But you know what? You'll be back to coloring in no time at all. This is Sunburst. And this comes from the Skin Light set of 4. But technically, you're supposed to use this for skin tones. I find that I can use a lot of different things in the Black Widows for other things. Like, there are certain books that I use my Prismas on. Flora. It's not her new one, which is Moon Valley. I think the book is beautiful personally, but right now I just can't get it because I have only so much. You really should. I love them all. I think my favorite one is Trolle. Actually, Trolle is one of my favorite books by her. if you can get it. You know, some books you just can't get anymore. Like Dramedies is a really nice book, but it's expensive. There are a lot of books I want right now, but I'm not buying anything because, you know, I still got to get organized. I got to get a job. I got to do all these things that need to be done. The house, everything. If we're not packing and we're not putting things away, we're reorganizing, reading, coloring, making sure that I have this ready for you guys to go. Like, I never know now because, you know, once I start working, I'll have a more set idea of when I'm streaming and when I'm not streaming. Maria Trolle. Moon Valley is a pretty book too. But I also want The Witch's Cottage. I want the Stranger Things coloring book too. You know, I keep making my wish list keeps growing because every time I see people's hauls and things, I just keep adding things to my wish list. See, in a way, haul videos are good because they show you what's out, and in a way they're bad because you keep adding things to them. I know, right, Emily? Usually I don't do this in one color. You guys know I reduce my collection a lot. You guys know that I had a bigger collection before I left New York, right? So I had reduced that. I have so much time in painting stuff too. But I'm waiting until we settle in and then I can start doing time in painting again. But that'll probably happen after Mommy gets her room set up and everything. I don't know why, but when I saw this, I just thought sunflowers. You know, like I'll color every little petal. Okay. Time to sharpen up the pencil again. I know, right? I hope someone asked, well, if they give a stimulus check. I don't think they're going to give us a stimulus check. To tell you the truth, I don't think the government is going to give us another one. But if I was to get another stimulus check, one of the things I would do is put aside money for bills for 3 months. Maybe buy one Asian coloring book and then a few more Copic refills of colors I don't have. You know? That's what I would do with a stimulus check. What would you guys do if the government gave you a stimulus check? Just curious. If I ever get rich, I'll buy my whole Amazon wish list, my diamond painting wish list, my comic book wish list, my supplies. Probably buy another set of coal vines. Which, by the way, I love my home buys, don't get me wrong. But sometimes you want to try other things, you know? Let's say more expensive. Like in Blick is like one of the few places you can actually buy the whole vines now. Yeah, they now sell them individual at dickblick.com. I tell you, I really like Blick as a store. Someone told me they used to have a Blick here, but they went out of business here, so I was like, oh. So I might have to go to places like Michael's or Joann's where they have a Hobby Lobby. Cicada. Yeah, that goes well. Let's hope we have enough pencil to do it. No, I thought this was going to take us a lot longer to do this page. Pleasantly surprised by this page. I'm really happy with the pages I choose to do. I'm probably going to start rotating my books out once I get to a certain point. I think I'm at like 27, 28 books this month so far that I've covered. I know, but it's the leaves that are going to make it. We still got to do all these leaves. Deal. I don't know if I have enough pencil. This. I know, right? I think it's the skin that always takes me the longest to do. I was kind of not sure about putting this in blue because it doesn't really go with the yellow, green, and brown theme. But it just makes her nice. It makes her pop like out in the center, you know? I know, it's like, it's funny how sometimes you think a picture's gonna take you so long, and then when you start coloring, you realize it's actually much more satisfying piece. You know, it's like that. When they color, they sometimes color something and they're like, wait a minute, that was different than what I thought it was gonna be. I like doing pieces like this. Yeah, well, I got a ground coffee too now. Thank God we have those little Nespresso cups. You know, over here in California, everything is so hot. You're like, I need something to drink. You have to stay hydrated here. I see some places that need a little bit more yellow. A little bit of sunburst. Sometimes that is a beautiful book. That is worth the money. I will always say this. So if you want to get hardcovers, they're always worth the money. I have a Korean hardcover that I don't color into often, but it's one of the prettier books, and I really like coloring in it when I get a chance to color in it. So we have done this. So you see how just using some basic, this was done with Black Widows, Pablos. So this is like Aztec gold. I tried to do this with one of her books, just to give it a little depth, just to see how it looks. Not really a fan of that look, but it did make them look a little more poppy. I have that book. I love those books. Certain things you learn to love, and then other things you learn not to love as much. So, you don't love everything that you color right away. There are books that I'm like, I really didn't like that book that I colored. I didn't like that. I did color one of these. I did color this. I don't remember what pencils I used to color those. See, I was doing this. And I really don't remember what I was doing with this when I colored this. Really don't. I don't even know what brown that is, to tell you the truth. That's really terrible not to know the brown that you're using on that. See, that's a terrible thing, to not know that page, when you did coloring in that page. This book has a lot of pages in it. But the thing is with me, I always like to color and remember what I'm coloring in, Like I don't like to start big pages without knowing what I'm coloring in it. This book is beautiful. Flora. Mud pink. With Black Widows, you can build up color too. No, my favorite Johanna book is Secret Guardian. My favorite coloring book is Scream by Nicholas Philbert, just because those women are beautiful. Well, different books, different times. Gonna represent something different. Fancy pink. Pink. The names on the Black Widows are very representative of their colors. I think they do a good job representing what their colors. I have this thing where I love to color florals. Took me a while to figure out the angle for this place. What works best on this is an angle. Oh no. I move it and I touch it and it goes bye-bye. I think the names are very good colored names. Who here likes the names of the others? Well, you see so many books like the new Coco Wild books are just like, I'm like, oh. Flowers are fun to color. But I have certain goals this month. There's like a couple of books I would like to finish. Like one of the books I want to finish is Cute and Creepy. I think the other book I want to finish is Serene, if that's at all possible. And one Daria Crack of the Sword book, I think is in it. And then I think Color in Heaven Fairies by Gerda Sabina is the one that I want to finish. And Fairy Tales by Emily Lyberg Oberg. This may look like it's not colored, but believe me, it is colored. So you see how the spreads go in there. That just lights up the tone a little bit. Floss. This is the other way to do it. I'm sure it is. It's the crockpot sounds like a wonderful idea. You know, me and my mother come up with very practical meals for ourselves. You know, when I start working again, I'm gonna have to start looking at what's in the neighborhood that I eat. It's one of my favorite books. Coloring. Like I don't post pictures. Cyanide pink. Sometimes I pick a color at random and it turns out to be really good, and sometimes it doesn't turn out to be good. So you guys are getting 2 pictures from me today. That doesn't happen very often. And I'm not even putting full pressure on this. No, you don't. Roses don't have to look flat. Sometimes I like my roses to look like different things. But that's because I put down some of that other color. That's why it looks the way it does. And, you know, real flowers are going to look very different in real life. Oh, look, it broke. Bad pencil thingy. That's it for that pencil for today. So now we go. Look for a nice deep color. This is blood red. That's the color I really should have used to know the rose. Yeah, putting it in. The thing I like about the swordfish is that you can release it easily. That might you can't release it as easily. At least mine can't. I mean, I figured it out eventually, but when I first got it, I had problems releasing it. So who likes that? You really should get it. It's such a pretty book. Green grass. Apple. This is called apple. Now, almost every set I have has an apple green in it. Like, I'm not kidding you. Even Crayolas have apple. No, Blick sells their own pencils and they sell a portrait set. Like, they're a good set to start learning what the basics of are. Prisma used to sell a thing where they would call it skin tones. I don't know if they do it anymore, but they used to have them in the art store. I used to see them in books go, oh, here's what you need for skin tones. I love this screen. I think that's it. So we have done this one. So you can do a nice floral. All right. So I think we're going to end here. So we did this one today with Black Widows and Pablos, which I really like this one. And then we did this one, and then we did this one today. So we did 2 pictures in Flora by Maria Trolle. I hope you guys have enjoyed this to just show you could do a lot with Black Widows. You don't have to have like the most expensive sets to color a nice picture. So here's this. I hope you guys enjoy this. Have enjoyed this. I know I have. So everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. I hope to see you hopefully tomorrow or Saturday or whenever I get a chance to see you. Bye, everybody.